Hi, Jenny here. Seeing as I have another bag of M&Ms left over that I didn't use making those really cute pretzel flowers, I thought today we could make some M&M Protein Balls. So let's get started. For this recipe we are going to need 1 cup of oatmeal, half a cup of shredded coconut, 1 scoop of protein powder, 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, 1/4 cup of M&Ms, half a cup of peanut butter, half a cup of honey, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. In a food processor with just the regular blade, we are going to go ahead and mix up all of the ingredients except for the M&Ms. We'll just stir those in last. If you don't have a food processor, go ahead and just use a very large bowl. This you can have a lot of mixing to do by hand. I found that it's easier to use the food processor, seeing as I have it. I might as well get some use out of it. So, again, we're just going to go ahead and pour in that oatmeal, coconut, protein powder, any protein powder that you have that you like. I just happen to have some vanilla, the chia seeds, and get our liquids in there, the vanilla, and that's vanilla on me. Peanut butter. Depending on your peanut butter, if you're using a more natural peanut butter, the protein balls may be a little bit softer. If you're using the regular name brand type stuff, it should turn out just a tad bit thicker. And our honey. It's nice to be able to use the honey as a sweetener. It's more of a natural sweetener than sugar. So again, making these protein balls type of thing, anytime you make any ingredients, right, your finished product is going to be a portion of how the ingredients that you put into it. Put it that way. So how healthy, how natural. And when you're doing that, then you learn to adjust. Just like I know when I've used natural peanut butter before, that sometimes the mixtures I make are a little bit more soft. All right, and we will go ahead and mix this up. I'm going to go ahead and scrape down the sides one time, mix it up again just a little bit more, just because as it goes, a lot of times it spits all the ingredients, up to the top, some of the lighter stuff. Sometimes it'll get down there and incorporate it, sometimes you need to wipe the sides and stir it up a little yourself. See if I can get some of the stuff on top, more to the bottom. Good, this is thick. The peanut butter I bought this time wasn't really a natural one, but it was more of a healthy one, so I didn't know if this was going to be too thin or not, but this is a pretty thick batter here. Excellent. That looks pretty well mixed. So there we have our mixture. So as you can see, it is really nice and thick. We'll see if I can get this off the blade.
the blade out, being careful not to get any of the mixture in the hole in the middle. Let's clear all this out. Wipe my hands. Okay. No, I still have peanut butter. Still have peanut butter in my hands. Hold on. We will go ahead and wipe down the sides. And then we're going to add our M&Ms in here. And just stir them up by hand. That way they won't get all crushed. Any of that, they will stay looking pretty. I don't know if this little spatula is going to be heavy duty enough to mix. All right. Now obviously you can do these with any type of M&Ms. I happen to have some of the pastel M&Ms left over from an Easter springy type of a dish I made, a recipe. I made some flour pretzels. So you melt a melting chocolate. You put a square pretzel on a cookie sheet. Put about 20 of those on a cookie sheet, and then you put a melting chocolate on top, and then put those in the oven for like 3 minutes. Take them out, and then put a bunch of the M&Ms around to make petals. You know, I'm thinking I'm just gonna have to do this in a bowl. But my M&M fell through the center. All right, let me grab a mixing bowl. I shall have to dirty a mixing bowl anyways. That'll be easier. I know when I make other protein balls, energy balls, when I've made these before, sometimes I like to use mini chocolate chips instead of regular size. Because again, I feel like the smaller size just kind of incorporates better for when you're trying to mix things in, because sometimes the bigger ones, they're kind of hard to mix in. But so same thing with M&Ms. They have mini M&Ms out there. You can use mini M&Ms. And as I was saying too, then you can use any colors you want. So I happen to have these pastel M&Ms still left over because I bought 2 bags to do my other thing and I only used 1. So I thought, okay, I could just eat these M&Ms, but it dawned on me that I'm like, you know, I think I came across a recipe, scrap pieces of paper by my desk, so some different recipes that I found that I'll just put off to the side that I'm like, okay, let me make this one. And I was going through those papers the other day and I'm like, oh, there's an M&M one. I'm like, all right, well, I don't know as though I would really make this one, but I'm like, well, now seeing as I had the M&Ms left over because of something else I made, I will go ahead and make this. So, dough is nice and thick. M&Ms are having a hard time sticking in, as I figured they might. Again, also being big, but we'll see what we can do. Next, we will take a cookie sheet, some type of a pan, maybe a dish, whatever, whatever you feel that you want to put these on, because they don't need to be baked. So you can also use wax paper, or I have a piece of parchment paper on here because I'm out of wax paper. But because they are not going into the oven, you can use wax paper. But then we're just going to go ahead, grab some of this batter, and make them into a nice 1 inch or so sized little ball. And push the M&Ms in so they stay. So we'll go ahead and do that with all of the batter. And then when we're done, we're going to put these in the freezer for half an hour so that they will harden up and all the ingredients will stay together. And then of course we'll eat some. So if you have a cookie scoop, you could probably try to use that also. I thought for today, I'm like, I will just try to roll them by hand. This is a good texture of ingredients. I don't have really anything sticking to my hand. Got a little bit of the oiliness of probably the honey and from the peanut butter. Actually, peanut butter did have a little bit of the oil on top to have to mix in a little bit. But yeah, otherwise it's not. Sometimes when you make some of these protein balls and that they'll stick to your hands a lot. You'll get a lot of batter still on your hands. But this one is nice. It's not doing that with the ingredients that I use today. It's not sticking to my hands. And you can make these pretty much as big too or as small as you want. I usually prefer smaller because I like to just put the whole thing in my mouth and chew it up. But you know, these days when I have to chew and it takes me forever, I just like to have a little bit of a smaller one. You can tell they're looking so pretty. To make sure that there's a couple M&Ms in each of these. See some extra M&Ms just hanging out, and because they're so kind of slippery, the M&Ms just want to fall off. And then using the different colored M&Ms will also be nice for, again, depending on around whatever holiday that you're making these. Like with this being Easter's in a couple days. So even if these are just for yourself, you know, you can still have a pretty snack. You can go in the fridge, you know, to grab one for just, you know, need a little something between meals, or if you want to have a couple of them for breakfast. Then even for yourself, you can go, oh, such a pretty snack. Right? Treat yourself too. It doesn't have to just be everybody else. Or if you want to have these out for Easter. Or again, if it's a different holiday, they have the different colored M&Ms out. So Valentine's Day, they would have the reddish and pink M&Ms. Christmas, they have the red and green. You can always buy the other M&Ms too, separate them out. For St. Patrick's Day, you can just take out buy a regular pack of M&Ms and put some green, just green ones out, or so it's always neat to have a recipe that you can, you know, customize for the holiday, for the season. Once you have all of your protein balls made, again, we are going to put these in the freezer for half an hour or the refrigerator for an hour. Just enough time to get dishes done. So I will see you then. The M&M protein balls are all set now, so they are good to go. They are still nice and firm and round, hold their shape, so that's all good. Let's see what they taste like. Yummy, as per usual. Got that peanut butter, crunchiness of the chia seeds. Don't taste the oats, but I'm sure the oats give it that support. With that kind of texture. It was very hearty. A little aftertaste of honey. Yeah. As per usual, they are very good. I've pretty much liked every protein ball, energy ball that I've ever made. They are all very tasty. Some of them are just a little bit more messy than others, so this is a very good one. I like that. So as I've mentioned, you can use any type of the M&Ms, whether you want mini M&Ms, regular size M&Ms, different colors. As far as the peanut butter,
Yeah, same, if you are allergic to peanut butter, you can use like the sunflower seed butter, a different type of a nut butter, but again, that will give you, again, the base for it to help hold it together. Besides, obviously, the oatmeal. So, I like that one. I will leave the recipe down below. Let me know in the comments down below if you like to make energy balls, protein balls, eat them as a meal, eat them as a snack. Usually it's a snack while I'm making whatever meal. In the morning, if I get up and I'm really hungry, just grab one of those and we go about, whatever until I get breakfast or stuff like that. Or while I'm making dinner, it's always a good little snack to have. So I'm gonna go enjoy another one of these. You guys keep it positive. Go make it a great day. Bye-bye. Okay, I can do the beginning in one take. The outro is gonna take 3 takes.